It's like something out of science fiction. Unsettling transformations are sweeping across the planet. And clue by clue, investigators are assembling a new picture of Earth. They suspect we've entered a time of faster global change than any human being has ever witnessed. But we can rise to the challenge, alter the course. It's up to all of us to confront these strange days on planet Earth. Save a fish, save the planet. It has a nice ring to it, but most of us don't tend to look at fish as the great heroes of a global drama. We tend to like to see them grilled, baked, boiled, or fried. So that still forces the question, with numbers of fish plummeting, how do we ensure a sustainable harvest that's good for them and good for us? There are a lot of solutions on the table. One that many think will be the most vital is fish farming. Aquaculture already produces nearly half the fish we eat, but critics argue that the gains aren't worth the costs. But before throwing out the fish with the aquaculture water, it's worth asking this: is there a better way to do it? Nearshore operations like this one produce most of the farm seafood for the world. Here it's salmon, 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 salmon. It's all about the salmon. Or it was. Until these two guys came along. Thierry Chopin is a marine biologist. Sean Robinson is an ecologist. In 2001, they approached executives with a novel idea. What if they could add to their product line while also making their farm less taxing to the environment? Their recipe for success was simple: grow additional foods right alongside the salmon: kelp and mussels. Their pitch? It would be good both for the bottom line and the surrounding habitats. They believed that kelp and mussels could serve as living filters, thriving on the cloudy waste generated in the salmon pens. They argued that the two new species would solve a big problem for the fish farmers. An average salmon farm produces the waste of 60,000 people. This pollution can degrade habitats. Beyond clearing the water, kelp and mussels offer another advantage. You can sell them. Eventually, executives started to nibble.
Look at this. Wow. By taking the ecological principle to them in an economic way, that sort of set the stage for, well, okay, we might be interested.
Through rigorous measurements, Chopin and Robinson built their case. They showed that both kelp and the mussels grow faster near salmon pens, and that they have potential to absorb 40% of the waste from the water.
What we are doing at the present time is relatively simple, but really it's nothing more than recreating a balanced ecosystem.
And their ideas are catching on throughout the industry. The future of fish farming depends on similar innovation. And one of the most dramatic cases is unfolding a little further downstream. To Brian O'Hanlon, responsible aquaculture is going to require many different approaches, many different roads. O'Hanlon sees one future, and it's called the aquapod. This space-age sphere will enable O'Hanlon to boldly go where few have gone before, to farm the open ocean. O'Hanlon believes open ocean farming will dramatically increase production to meet rising demand. And it could do so with less harm to the environment than coastal farming for one simple reason.
We have very strong, consistent, steady currents. We never see the same water twice based on our current patterns. And the currents are so strong that it basically flushes the site.
One of the biggest problems faced by farmers like O'Hanlon is feeding his fish. O'Hanlon is raising cobia. They're carnivores. Flesh eaters are raised on wild-caught fish, often ground up and formed into pellets. So this kind of aquaculture is, ironically, increasing pressure on wild stocks. But farmers like O'Hanlon are going a different route.
Right now, a significant portion of our protein is substituted with other sustainable farm-raised plant proteins.
Some farmers dodge this problem by raising plant eaters, like catfish, tilapia, and carp, which can make for a more sustainable operation. Today, aquaculture isn't perfect. Many problems remain to be solved. Shrimp farms have led to widespread destruction of mangroves. Lethal viruses can spread to the wild. Penned fish can escape and breed with wild animals. But as long as farmers like O'Hanlon continue to recognize and confront problems, the industry can evolve and improve. It used to be that nearly everyone with a rod and reel had a story about the big one that got away. Today, fishers are telling another kind of tale. A bounty thought to be inexhaustible turns out to be vulnerable. As life in the ocean is depleted, the effort it takes to catch any fish is going nowhere but up. And the decline of stocks has revealed the once invisible ties that bind all life to the sea. Can we ignore these connections? When we protect fish, we protect our home and ourselves. So let's make sure that the big one that got away isn't the entire planet.